Welcome to session number six in our mini-series of advanced manifesting training here. And tonight is really exciting because this training that we're going to go through is the final works, or the most important works, of Napoleon Hill. And it was really amazing. He's the first one that got great fame as a person who interviewed 40,000 people. And as he made all these interviews, and then he had fun with the final interview of success, interviewing the devil. And it was really fun because Outwitting the Devil is a fun book. That's one that I highly recommend.
Outwitting?
It's called Outwitting the Devil.
Okay.
And it's really fun. It's a big conversation of him with his final interview that was never printed until now.
I didn't know.
And it wasn't printed because his wife worked for the church. And so they were really concerned that the wife, her job would be at stake. So what happened was he died, and she didn't want it printed till after she passed away, and then it stayed in the family sitting there and finally got printed.
How long ago was that?
It finally got printed just in the last 10 years.
But when she was there,
Oh, how long more did she live after him?
No. When the church
it was the 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, they didn't want anything to do.
Conservative back then.
Yeah, because I think this Think and Grow Rich was in the 50s.
Yeah.
50s, yeah, exactly.
So it must have been.
So Success Mastery is one of his works, and what's really fun is after he interviewed all these Rockefeller and Rothschild, and even down to the less successful people and homeless people, and he did this scan of interviews from Ford to Edison to everybody. I mean, it was really great that he got a chance to. If you look at what number one is what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
The number one thing for success is to align yourself with the mastermind. And what he found is if you stay in meditation or you walk around a building 100 times and you talk out loud to what it is your solution is, like, I'm looking for the solution for this, I'm here to have it now. And he would just keep on the subject, and all of a sudden light enlightenment would come. So what he found is, he says, my gosh, and it wasn't just a little enlightenment, just like all of our miracle stories, it was exact. It turned out it would say, go to your wallet and take out $100, because that's exactly what this is going to be, this is what you'll need for what your plan is. And then go to this place, sit in this chair, and do this thing. And so there is, and I've used it many, many times, an absolute mastermind energy that we can all tap into in every single moment. And that's when we follow these hunches and these nudges and these urges. And even if it said, go to the fourth row when you're parking, it's going to be better. And you're like, fourth row, I always park in the first and second row. Though whenever something strange pops in, open your heart to it and say, wow, that's got to be inspired thought, because that's not something I would normally go to. So do keep a little note of these strange little thoughts that pop in, and it's kind of fun because I call them your inspired thoughts, and we always know that the first thought is the divinely inspired thought. It's universe talking to us. So the mastermind would be talking through those inspired thoughts. And when I got the Dead Sea Scrolls and I went into that library at the bookstore, and it's an 8-story bookstore, and it was just go downstairs, and then turn right, and then turn right and go to the bottom stack, and the very right, on the floor, lowest thing, and all the Dead Sea Scrolls books will be there, and they were right there. So there is just some guiding power that can help us. So he called it the mastermind. We can call it divine God power, whatever words you want to use for it. He called it the mastermind. And we know that we have a collective consciousness. That's another word for it, the collective consciousness. And that's why when one person can break a record athletically, everybody from that point. That's why one person who discovered the internet, right? Now we have all these things, attachments to the internet and advancements to the internet. And it's everywhere. Now we've got this new thing coming out, 5G or whatever it is. So on top of one thing, it's another thing. So we can tap into this collective consciousness. And this year of 2020, what I really ask everybody, especially us here, before we do anything, take 1 minute, pray about it, and open up and tap into it. And let's just record the outcomes. Because it's amazing We've already used it sometimes. Now let's just say it, move into it, declare it as we are ready to do that, attach to the collective consciousness, and just welcome it in. And then record, like I say, just little teeny things that came, strange little fun thoughts that came in. And we've reminded, follow those thoughts. So the collective consciousness, another way that he put this in his final book is he called this the hypnotic rhythm. That was another. So collective consciousness, hypnotic rhythm, mastermind. So when he described that there's this hypnotic rhythm, the universe is set in motion and we're in motion. And if we can just flow with it, he said, the sun is going to shine and the moon is going to glow and the stars are going to twinkle, whether we do something or lack of doing anything. So he said, God already put in place a hypnotic rhythm that has a perfect flow. And it has an absolute knowing, all knowing in it, and it has an achievement of all that is good. And so he tells us that if we tap into that, and we do a couple of these other simple things on a regular basis that are on this list, we will automatically flow with it. So if you think of all the stars in the galaxy and they're kind of spinning gently out there in a big, if you think of the Hubble telescope, right? You just see those, just the galaxy just kind of flowing, the stars. And you say, gosh, I want to be on that carpet ride. I just want to be gently on that carpet ride. So he says you can always achieve that when you're attached to the mastermind, the collective consciousness, and then you have a definite chief aim. So this is where our goal setting becomes really important. This is where we have to remind ourselves, and I love it when people, especially like Chris, Carrie, that we come together and we talk about, in this situation, what is, we remind ourselves, what is my chief goal in this situation? We just recently, Carrie and I did this, and I know Chris and I do this all the time. And like Diane, with your foot, we had a chief goal, right?
Stem cells.
Right. So we have chief goal, and Sylvia and I with Receive Joy, the company. When we have this definite chief aim, the entire galactic flow can flow with you. If we're shooting energy arrows in any area of our life and we haven't established some targets and reminded ourselves of the targets.
Yeah, that's good.
2 years ago we might have established targets and now we're getting a little tired. We're like, what was that target again? Please remind me, because yeah. So sometimes we have to dust off the targets, freshen them up, and remind ourselves, this is why I did it. Yes, I'm on focus. Okay, I have to get some new life in here.
And remember the saying, where focus goes, energy flows.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where focus goes, energy
flows. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So our definite chief aim, our focus, is everything. That's why we have the Focus Wheel workbook. That's why we're doing the targets. That's why we're writing our 2020 goals. Please make sure that you take the time while it's still the beginning of 2020 to do your annual planning. I mean, we're the miracle group here, so everybody, I just remind you, let's have our goals. We're staying tonight, my sister and I, and doing some more goal setting. And then I offer up, if you think of anybody who's gone forth in greatness, the one thing that they had in their physiology was self-confidence. So if we have to exhale a few times, and even if it's as simple as making a decision of what to do next or what doctor to use or should I go to a doctor at all for this, go forth in confidence. If you need to walk around the building 100 times and call on the mastermind for some support, do it, call on God, get into your meditative state, do a yoga pose, whatever it is. The idea is that we have to go forth in this self-confidence, and it has to show in our physiology. Your shoulders have to be upright, your smile has to be back on, you've got to breathe, you've got to loosen your shoulders and, prepare yourself for success. So we know that when Jesus walked to do a healing, he walked knowing in 100% confident the outcome. In fact, he was so confident that he gave gratitude message on the way there. Thank you, God, that it's already done. So we have to move our physiology, keep our shoulders high, our head up, our smile on our face, our breathing calm. We've got to be in that position to show the self-confidence and to allow that vibration through us. All right, so whatever it takes, it literally, that's why we go to the gym. Even if you can only do a half-hour workout of that day, go and walk around the gym and do the walk there. So this self-confidence is an absolute in the universe. All right, anything less than that confidence, we know how that feels because we've all done that too. Go back into that self-confidence, and I really say get a prayer partner, get an accountability partner, hire somebody. You know, people hire all these counselors and all these shrinks or whatever they want to call it, coaches. They go to preachers, they go everywhere. It's fine. Get somebody who can get you back online with a smile on your face, back with your goal, your target, focus. And I mean, that can get you the next 3 months, that can get you over the finish line. So whatever it is for each of us, let's do it. Self-confidence is a 100% absolute. So it is an absolute. It has to be there. Got to get yourself there. Okay, so the habit of saving. And this is interesting because remember, we're setting down the old agreement with the word saving. Saving for a rainy day was an old agreement that our parents had. Saving money for 3 months in case of an emergency. The universe doesn't save for anything. Now, being smart and having targets set up so that you can flow is different than our agreement with the word saving. Because our agreement came from our ancestors, and it was a whole different agreement.
What do you mean targets set up?
Saving for investing. Investing in your happiness, investing in your health, investing in your wealth, investing in different areas of your life, your growth, your contribution.
Okay, different levels.
Yes. Okay. So having the habit of saving, or the habit, one of the things I always say to people is take your calendar, the new month out, and put your name 5 places on it, and do 5 great things for yourself before you put anybody else on your calendar. 5 things. Go to the gym, get your nails done, go for a massage. On your calendar, put your name 5 times or so first. So that your body and your soul knows, the soulness of you, knows that you care. We tend to just start filling in the blanks, and we fit ourselves wherever's left over. And it's our calendar. And our body knows that. It really knows that. So if it is that we enjoy going to church, then put that first. If we enjoy a study group, then or if you want to go take a seminar that month for 2 days, put that on your calendar first. Your self-growth, your self-spirituality. If you want to go to a spiritual event, if you want to do whatever makes your heart sing. The idea is every month when you have that blank calendar going, please enter your name on it first. It does wonders for your health because the physical body, a lot of us, and we have to be honest, how many years have we said to our body, you got to get up and go. You got to go over there. You got to do this. Do you ever say, would you like to sit on the couch for an extra 10 minutes this morning? Would you like to stay in bed?
All the time.
Now, though for years, we've really been a bit of a slave driver to our own physical flesh because it did have to go. Kids had to get to school. You had to go to this game that they're playing on this time, and you had to get there. So you just kept saying, come on, go, like taskmaster.
So it's also time to date yourself and get to know yourself again.
Yep. Take all our lists.
Take yourself out on a date.
and do fill out your papers or your targets or your goals or whatever it is, and just say, what's new? What do I feel like this year? And then reflect on last year and say, what did I do great? And do I want to do more of that, or do I feel like I succeeded? And also be okay with taking chapters of your life and saying, been there, done that, good job. And say, you know what? I know I was excellent at this, or I am excellent at this, though there's all these other great flavors I'd like to try. So I'm going to be okay setting that down, even though I'm really good at that role. Maybe you've been married 25 years like I have, and it's been great taking care of the husband and kids. And now it's like, wow, I'm good at that role, though it's really time for me to try a different role. So be okay with just trying these new roles. So the habit of savings, I have this great story of the ant and the butterfly, the ant and the grasshopper, and I was just reading it again. And the last session we had on Tuesday was getting rid of the boulders and setting down other people's beliefs and removing them from our lives. And we do it all at once, just chuck the whole thing out. So we've all kind of been given this funny little story that the grasshopper that has fun and sings praise and is dancing and is joyful in their life and isn't out there working hard every moment. And the little ant's like, you should be working hard every moment. It's collecting all these dead bugs. And at the end of the story, when the grasshopper asks the ant for a little help, it's really interesting because this goes back to our God trading versus our horse trading, right? So we shall be those grasshoppers, and we should be asking God for our supply, because God is our supply. And the little ant is like, oh, that bad little bug. It should have been doing the right thing and, working hard all day and night long and all season long. And have we heard that before from our parents, our grandparents, or this? You'll only get there if you work hard. That's the only possibility. And yet we see Google and we see Apple and we see all these guys, right? And yes, sometimes they worked hard, but they also did what they loved. And other people worked only so many hours and still got great benefit. And some people just bought the stock and did great, and they worked 0 hours at the company. So now that we look at this story, even when I read it, the first time my kids brought that home, I wanted to save that story to cram it down their throats,
That's in the Bible, Martha and Mary, remember?
Yes. It was like I wanted to show them when they were 17, see, you gotta do all this. And then I thought, what is going on with my, in the same moment I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm trapped with a boulder, and yet right in front of my eyes, I see people in the stock market doing great. And I see people, look at Amazon. Oh my gosh, one guy made it. All the other guys fell apart. Now look at what this industry is. Right here, we're sitting in Whole Foods where Amazon bought it. One guy totally was with the mastermind and self-confident, and he stayed in the game when everybody else quit.
That's it.
Because, they said, we'll never go all this internet buying and shopping. And there was probably 5 companies that were in serious competition when Amazon started. They all dropped out. This one stayed, and look at what it came. It's totally amazing. And then look at how many people are benefiting, all the jobs just from Amazon. Oh my God, even the post office now works for Amazon on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The government works for Amazon.
Get it the next day.
Yeah. So intuitive and leadership, initiative. Okay. So when I say, I'd like you to take the intuitive initiative. This is different than work hard. The intuitive initiative is going to take so much off your shoulders, because God's Holy Spirit talks through us, through our gut, through our urges, our try that, focus on that, give that person another chance. Those are all knowings. And that's different than the work hard. That grasshopper, because they had a little more joy and a little more time to sit in a little meditative state or a little dancing state had a lot more time to feel that intuitive initiative versus just beating your body up to get out of bed and keep going to work every day for 12 hours. Okay, that's there's no intuitive initiative there. We can all do that. That's you doing it. Okay, so then where's God in that? So that's you being your supply. So if we are going to allow God to be the supply and be of this world and yet just in this world, we can do a nice balance. So be aware when we're driving ourselves too hard and we become in and of this world. So look for your intuitive all-knowings that happen, and then take an immediate initiative on that all-knowing.
But also the end of the story is like everyone does what they do best, because in the end the ants took the grasshopper in and he played the music for them and they really, really enjoyed it. So yes, he was doing what was fun, like all summer long and then also all winter long, and everyone was profiting from it.
That's right.
So this is like really what we learned from the story.
Mm-hmm. So let's think through that too. What are our divine gifts? And in Connect to the Light, There's all kinds of space and writing exercises in there to really start focusing on our divine gifts and what it is that we love to do and what it is that we can do to inspire others, ourselves and others. Okay, leadership. What does leadership mean to everybody? And it's a interesting. Anthony Robbins has a saying: "I will lead, not follow." And again, how about we just lead? Leading yourself, motivating yourself. What's it going to take? And you got to sit quietly with yourself in every department of your life, especially the ones that we tend to procrastinate at. What's it going to take for me to find joy in this situation, in this task? Let's call it a task for the moment, in this deed, in this moment, in this project. And really sit down with yourself and say, okay, I'm going to send in enough love, I'm going to gain enough peace, and then I'm just going to begin. The moment will come when there'll be enough love. One of my clients, it was so cute, she would walk past her desk and it was really full. She said, okay, for a week I'm just going to say I love you every time I walk past that desk. And it's like 100 times a day because it's the garage, going to the garage. So I love you on the way to drop the kids off. I love you when you pick the kids up. I love you when I go to the grocery store. I love you when I come back. I love you when I go to the post to the mailbox. I love you when I come back. I love when I go sweep the driveway. I love you when I come back. She said, well, by the end of the week I must have said I love you more than 100 times to the desk. She said, and then I just sat down, and in 2 hours, the desk was just done.
Oh, I gotta try that.
She said, I just sent so much love. It was like, she said, that was crazy that I gave so much energy to thinking I gotta sit down. And then in 2 hours, it was beautiful. And I felt love sitting at the desk that I blessed 100 times. All right, so
Lifted our spirits.
So number 6 is imagination. So he says success mastery is when we really have a good imagination. And one of the steps is to do send love out to everything first and prepare the soil. And you have so much love to it all that it'll just use your imagination then. How can I achieve this joyfully?
Another good word for that is resourcefulness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to elaborate on resourcefulness?
It's like all the answers are already in us, and whatever there is, if we think or pray into the solution, we do have the inspired thoughts, and we do have all these God trading events coming in, and God will help us to really use what we get. So like using our imagination, creativity to really like master the task in whatever area there is once the focus goes there.
Yeah, I tend to, when I'm sitting at home at night, if I'm going to focus on a certain area of my house or something, some project, I sit in different chairs and look at it from different angles. And I just take maybe 3 minutes, and then I'll move. I'll sit on the couch and look at it. Then I'll sit on the desk at the dinner table and look at it. And then I'll stand in the kitchen and look at it. And it's really amazing when you pray and look from different angles, that some peace just comes over, and it's like, oh, it's just a table, or it's just this little, I'm making it like it's just a drawer. And look at it, there's many other drawers, and maybe that'll take me 10 minutes, or something. So you give it love, and I just bless it from different angles.
Also, what's interesting is like when you start asking how like your friends or how your family does something, and you just ask around, and that also sparks your imagination a lot.
It
so
does. It does.
I mean, or like what I before I started anything, it's like I have to figure it out for myself. Or like we were taught, like don't ask for help, do it yourself. Or all these old belief systems. And now it's so much easier than I met Carissa, and Carissa's like, oh, you know what, I just asked. And I was thinking, she just asked this one person, but then she asked again. So it's just to get, it's not about really asking this person, it's about like getting your own imagination flowing. So, and now I ask everyone, I go somewhere, even yesterday I went into like this new shop, and I just was asking around, okay, what are you excited about here? What do you want to do? Like, what is fun here? And then they told me all these things I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have started asking. Mm-hmm. And I got other ideas from that. So just keep on asking. And like, this nation is so great. USA, it's like, it's okay to ask. Everyone expects you to ask. In Berlin, it's like, if I ask something, it's like, you don't see it, we don't have it. So there's zero customer service, but here they try to help you. So you get like so many ideas. You can call like about your car. You can call anyone. You can call like Tire Kingdom. You can call the dealership. You can whatever you can think about. So for every little thing, you can get so many inspiration and resources, and it's just fun. And this again broadens your mind so much that all the other things flow in.
Yeah.
So because we can only create what we know.
Right, and some of the asking that Sylvie's talking about gets you in your game. So remember, stay in your own game as the witness. So some of the reason I do so much asking or talking to people is to just stay in the game. Like if you want to clean that desk, stay in the game. You might ask somebody, how do you organize your papers? Or how long does it take you? Or what's the best way to do this? And what's fun is, it is that it's not that you're just engaging the one person. You're now into the whole mode of, I'm going to get this desk clean. I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm going to, maybe take a tip from this person, maybe watch a little 10-minute video and see how, and it's just getting your creative juices flowing, and it is getting you to witness the process of movement towards a goal. And if you look up or search your similar goal, right? So maybe you're gonna clean up a silverware drawer and somebody's folding their underwear. It's okay. It's still a process of eliminating a few things, wiping things out, cleaning, freshening, giving to the Goodwill, whatever, blessing. We watched a video, it was real fun. This Japanese woman, she said, oh, now take everything out and thank it all for serving you.
Yeah. And
then it's okay that some of it is time to go on. It was real fun to see her say that, and it reminds me, and I do it too. It's a good reminder.
And then you become like completely motivated to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because we are like model learners, and we are like social animals, and we want to do what others do. So
it's really hello, wonderful, join us. So it's so beautiful to engage and realize that when you're the witness, that's when things can happen. If we take ourselves out of the arena, there's zero witness, and the molecules are just molecules again. So you have to stay in your own dream and play in it. So if play in it means go and be in a place where it reminds you of it, if play in it means call something, view a little videotape on it, or a YouTube video on it, if it means call a friend about it, play in it. Cut pictures out about the better way it should look, or the inspired thought. That's why we have vision boards. That's why we have reminders. That's why some people have screensavers. And on your screensaver, remember, I met this woman named Fabian, and she has this big following of ladies and some gentlemen in business. And she said that she did an 8-minute screensaver that kept rotating pictures. And it was about the biggest dream she had in her life, like going to Africa, meeting Mother Teresa, helping with a school project, many different things. And boy, she said, a couple years later, every single one of those things in her 8-minute loop on her screensaver came true. So she was reminded and smiled every morning when her computer went on, and every night when it was going off, and in between when it would shoot back to the screensaver. So she did it electronically. I love it. And now they sell these awesome picture, like my brother just got one for my mom, and you can put pictures on it. The one
electronic picture frames.
Electronic picture frames.
It's called Nix Play. Yeah.
So do you know what? We can take pictures even of our targets. We can color them, and we can have one that just flashes all of our cool manifesting things. And a few pictures of our family and our grandkids or our neighbors or our children or our dogs or whatever it is. So it might be something new in the world of manifesting that we actually have one that just flashes, and we can turn it on 10 minutes a day and goes through maybe our targets. And one on health, one on wealth, one on happiness, one on giving, one on contribution, one on whatever your subjects are, spirituality. And as it shows, just for that moment, I think you can even set the time how long you want to leave it on the screen. Mm-hmm. They make them so advanced now. We could actually have some of these things floating through. Again, a picture of your next vacation spot if you want to go to Ireland, or if you're going to, you want to go to Italy. And we could just have a few of all that going by. So So I think that's something that I'm going to make a note of right now. The picture
Pix
there.
it. Pix it.
It's called Nix, N-I-X, play.
Oh, next play. Next play. N-I-X.
Play, yeah.
So many things.
Yeah, it's so cool. Okay.
You can just download whatever you have on electronically. You just download it to the frame.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Okay, so then enthusiasm. Number 7, enthusiasm. So these are, again, our success mastery. To gain success, enthusiasm is necessary. Why is enthusiasm necessary? You are the one who is bringing that vibrational field and holding it up. And whatever it takes, whatever encouragement you desire or could use, that's why we say a prayer partner, accountability partner, a coach, music you love, physiology, a gym. If you like a Zumba class, then go to Zumba. If you like a yoga class, go to yoga. Make your heart sing and keep it going. Find a few encouraging friends. That was part of the whole miracle group, is that we're here to encourage each other. Find some friends that enjoy what you enjoy. So I always say go biking with people who enjoy biking. Go play tennis with people who enjoy tennis. Go to eat healthy food with people who enjoy healthy food, right? It's easier to go and join in when there's already joy there than trying to take something and stick it in and make it fit for you. So just join in the groups that are already going in those compartments or departments of your life. All right, self-control. Well, this is a really nice one, the self-control. So it starts with when we have our joy go down a notch in any department of our life, and then we have to say, okay, I'm going to allow myself 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Give yourself a timer on it. Kind of another option is to put yourself in timeout. So sometimes the day just got to be more than what you could expect. And so you might just need to go home by 8 or 8:30 and sit yourself in the bedroom and close the door and, have your calm music on, light some candles, take a bath, or soak your feet in some Epsom salt water at the side of the bathtub. And just read a poem or pray, sing, chant, whatever it is that can get you back into your soothingness, and then go to bed.
That's right.
Just go to sleep. And before you go to sleep, just say, tomorrow's going to be a great day. Thank you for today. I've had enough. I'm now closing my eyes. And I'm just coming forth in great expectancy for tomorrow. All right, so.
Yeah, self-control is also about staying in the dream.
Yeah. In
Just
your
stay
dream.
there and stay in my own dream.
And so all day
focus on my
long, people
goals.
are saying, oh, yeah, come do this with me, do that. We have so many options, so many flavors. And sometimes you just have to say, I've got this project that I really wish to finish today or this month or this week. And it could be something that you're working on for yourself and your health. And say, we'll get together next week. I'm in the midst of something important this week for myself. So self-control also is too many cookies. There's a lot of people we know that are in health food, and then all of a sudden they're eating way too many sweets, or they're, even at church, coffee, too much coffee, Starbucks, going to too many coffee. When you look at these lines at Starbucks, Sylvia and I drove by the other day, and it almost made me so sad I wanted to cry. The line was around the block.
Oh my God.
It's like
And it's
8
all chemicals.
10
And
cars.
it's all
online.
addiction.
It's like a candy bar when they get done with all the sugar and the cream.
It is candy
it's a
bar.
That's
full
what
meal.
Dr. Us says.
And the
It's like
idea,
a full
though,
meal,
it's
calorie-wise.
calorie-wise.
Calorie-wise, yeah.
No, the thing is that these people are doing
Yeah.
it every day. It's one thing if you do something and you can have some self-control and do it twice a week or so.
For me,
It's
the part that was really sad was the waiting in line. Imagine like
around the
it's
block. There's
like,
a Starbucks line
over
at River
half
Chase.
an hour.
Maybe they were
It must
giving
take
away
like
free or
so
something.
long.
Yeah, to sit there
crazy.
just for the cup of coffee. So
It
it's
must be
it's fun to
addictive.
do that. The idea just is be aware when you need some self-control. So everybody, and it's whatever your thing
Never go
is.
there.
So here's one: getting to the gym. Do you need some self-control to get yourself there? So look at areas and be honest with yourself and say, okay, this month I'm going to put some effort into self-control in these departments of my life.
And I think it's also about like finding routines for yourself that work. So if you have like your habits and the morning routine, this is self-control.
Yeah.
It's like to stay in your dream. Like, and every morning, if you do your oil pulling, or if you do it at the gym, and if you do your journaling, it's a form of self-control to keep on it.
What if your mind starts getting in a circle, like downward spiral? How do you get out of it?
And we have different forms. What works for us to stay in self-control. And for example, I'm a list person. I'm a complete list person, and I'm happy ticking my lists off. And that's my form of self-control to keep my mind on focus and myself in my dream, because I write my list for the next day, the evening before, and then if someone asks me to be part of my day, I can say either if I'm really excited about it and it's better than the one thing on my thing, yes, I can say yes. Otherwise, I can say yes, I'm staying in my dream, and we can like try again next week or like whenever I have an opening.
It's amazing how many people want to pull you into their dream. Oh, can you just do this for me? Oh, can you just stop and do that for me? And it's amazing because it's fun a day or two a week to incorporate everybody's dream, and then all of a sudden you look back at your list, nothing got done. So then you have to keep yourself in your dream. And if good health is your dream, let's say if that's one of the things that are pulling you, ticking you off, then you have to say, okay, wait a second. Everything else has to wait, and I have to do 3 things for myself towards my dream of good health. And even if it is going to get your...
I'm talking about in the moment, like in the middle of sleep, you wake up and you're downward spiraling. So do you get up and start writing?
Well, if that helps you, yes. The main thing, the first thing you have to do is stop it. You have to declare stop it.
Yeah.
I do prayer.
Those 2 words.
In the middle of the
stop
night,
it.
I always
First tell yourself stop
that
it.
hasn't worked.
Second thing is you said, God, I promised you I put this on the altar. I will act accordingly.
Okay.
I actually declare that out loud, because now I have to hold myself accountable. That's called self-control. So first I say stop it, and then I say, God, I did put this on the altar. I will stand firm in that. You are having us back, and now I've got to put my mind somewhere else. And then put it into something that's productive. So your mind could go to then, okay, if you've had enough and you're going to start the day, maybe you go watch a YouTube video. That's what I do sometimes. I watch Abraham Hicks, or I watch a preaching or something that's going to get my mind into something good.
Yeah, it's usually once I'm awake I can do that, but in sleep and try to go
like
back
if you're in a
to
dream
sleep,
state?
oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, so in a dream state, the same thing. You have to say, stop it.
Right.
This is my dream, or this is my time, this is my life, literally, and you say, this will have a good ending. And so even when you're in that in-between state where you're dozing in and out of things, you still have enough consciousness to say, my God is bigger than this. So I stop it right there. I literally say, I do know the outcome is to be good, and we will come up with a good outcome here. Or I wake up. That's it. And I get up and I go do something positive.
And also for self-control, I can feel it in myself. I do have always this one thing that really I have to get done. And I hear like my inner voice saying like, do it, do it, do it. So, and then once I have it done, there's something else, of course, coming in this place. But I know that this is my nudge, my internal like guiding system saying, this is the first thing I have to get done. And it's like the saying, eat that frog first, or
eat your vegetables before your dessert.
Or like grab the bull by the horn. So if you start the day with this nudge, what you have to get done during the day, if you start like this, your whole day is like so much better. So, and this,
the
and
one
this is
thing that just
self-control
screamed at
to
you.
really also listen to your gut feeling, what it says you have to do. And then
Just
stay
get
in
this
it.
one thing done, right? So really, I love it. I mean, we do have to stop it because we know it's an illusion taking over. Because we're really okay. We've got a roof over our head. We're in a comfortable room in bed. Things will turn out. We know that intellectually and karmically and in our heart. And even if we're beyond karma and go into grace, it's all going to be fine. So now we have to tell ourselves that. And that's where you have to stop it and leave it on the altar and declare it again. I already left this on the altar. Now this is it. This is it. I say, I have to talk to myself like that. Put it back there. Leave it there.
Yeah. Seems
So-
like when my guard's down, like I'm sleeping, I'm like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I'm like going from sleep to anxiety.
Yeah.
Like within seconds.
Right.
So
Pull yourself
there's no,
out.
Yeah.
You have enough consciousness in there. So ultimately, a lot of these cool people say that they're conscious while they're sleeping. And I love it, and I practice that too.
I agree with that.
Because, like you say, you're having an entire conversation with yourself while you're sleeping.
Within 30 seconds or even 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now practice, and this is fun for all of us here in Advance, practice being conscious while you sleep. The Sedoma method, that's what he did. And I do that all the time. And that's why I can say, stop it. So I'm conscious enough to say, I left that there, this is staying there, it's got a happy ending.
Well, that's
And if I go
lucid
back into a
dreaming,
dream.
right? That's
Yeah.
lucid dreaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard
But-
to master. Takes years. I've been to lots of classes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
although just give it a command. See,
Well, that is true. Say
once we give it a
stop.
command, we spoke the word over it.
Even Sarno says that about pain.
Just
Say,
give
"Stop."
it the command. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it the command.
Yeah.
So we know that if we speak the word over it, now everything changes. The molecules are in a different direction. So give it the command, self-control.
Yeah.
Stop it, and then give it the command of what you will accept.
Okay, go the extra
Yeah.
mile. Number 9.
Yep. The habit of doing more than paid for. That's the phrase. So it's going the extra mile, right? And when we do things as 10-star experiences and we have it planned out, we can go the extra mile. That's why we do the 5 things 10-star. So what's fun about that is once you've done it as a 10-star experience 4 or 5 times, so let's say going shopping, and you have your bags in the car, right? And maybe you even have your cooler with ice packs. In the freezer, you know where they are. And your cooler is now easily accessed into the back of your car.
You guys are so Florida. I would never do that.
Yeah. But for us,
But anyway, yeah.
this is
I
a
know what
10-star
you're- I know
experience
what you're
because
doing.
for us, if we buy something like that could be frozen yogurt or something along those lines, you have to
Yeah,
go right
it's-
home.
Yeah.
That can't sit in that car in the summertime for 10 minutes.
I can imagine.
It'll be all over your back seat.
And you have to take your rain jacket.
And you take the rain jacket because while you're in the store, the clouds can come over in 1 minute. So what's fun is once you kind of know what a 10-star experience is and you set yourself up. So for us, right, I leave a jacket outside in my garage on a hook and the umbrella on the same hook and my hat on the same hook and a pair of sunglasses and my bags are out there. So when you have everything ready, then you can repeat that 10-star experience very quickly. We were talking about going to the beach. If you're somebody who goes regularly to the beach, you might want to keep a beach chair in your trunk and with it a little beach bag where you have we have so many hats, an extra hat, maybe an extra sun shirt,
lotion.
some sun lotion, right. So
always forget that.
preparing your 10-star experiences and then having them set for the next time you do it and the next time you do it. It's truly great when you do that. So look back through your 10-star experiences and make sure that you've done more than that one time with them. That now you know as you went through it, it really works. For me, I have my comfortable shoes and my socks. I literally leave my socks, my gym socks, at the back door in a bag, a clear bag, so you can see them. And I love it. So my gym shoes are right in the garage on the shoe rack, and my socks are there, so I can grab that, and my flip-flops are there. So if I'm going to the gym, I might want to wear, if it's a yoga class, I might want to just throw my shoes and socks in the bag and wear my flip-flops, because maybe I'll do another exercise class after. So having your gym bag packed is one great thing. And in your gym bag, if it is that you might do different classes, then take the towel, the extra little towel that you might need if you're spinning. You need a towel. If you need certain shoes for one class and certain shoes for another. If you need your yoga mat. So my yoga mat is rolled up right outside the door also in the garage. So everything's within a grab, and I can have my gym experience within 5 minutes and my lanyard with the gym key with a hair tie attached to it.
Yeah.
All in one area.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So the 10-star experiences, and that's why we say habit of doing more than you're paid for. Make your experiences before you leave the house a success. If you're going to go, we went to a lecture today at the bank. At the same time, I had a check to cash, right? Make sure that's in your bag the night before or that morning, ready to go, so that you're at the same place. You can do 2-3 things. I also had checks to pick up. So now I know I have 3 things I can do while I'm in one place. And it just takes that one extra minute to make it a 10-star experience. And at the same time, like yesterday I went to lunch, I also had a return at the same mall. So I made sure that return was in the car with the receipt. And because I have all my receipts in one place, I could grab the receipt file and just go to the store with the receipt file and the damaged good and get it done right there. It was so simple. It wasn't like, now I got to look through 100 receipts. It's like, okay, my receipts are in a file already. I'll just grab the envelope and do it right there at the counter, which was perfect. All right, so 10-star experiences are a habit of doing more than you're paid for. Also, I know that everybody at this table does this. It's just another reminder that give it the extra smile, give it the extra thank you on the receipt, give it the extra you did a great job, give it the extra can I help you out with that. Make life what you put into it, and it's a good thing to smile, wave, and offer the extra hand. Napoleon Hill used this as a great example, and that was, he said, if you are doing a position for anybody, whether it's a volunteer or a paid position, if you always give the extra and go that little extra mile, what happens is you become so valuable that you will get the promotion or you will get that because you're the one who stays that extra moment or lends the extra hand or gives a little advice or smiles all the time. And when it comes up time for promotion, the natural thing would be for the person who can do it and is already doing it to have that. So even if it isn't your job to do that, if you're always the one doing it, then the person, you've proven that you already can do it.
Yeah, I think our generation was taught well about that. So what my job now is to teach the next generation that, because I think they are sorely lacking. They just don't have that attitude.
So
as
all of us now do work with the younger generation, whether it's our own children, grandchildren, volunteer projects, help them out. I always say, leave the place better than when you came.
Yeah.
That's a phrase I use. So if you're borrowing somebody's car, leave a little extra gas in it. If there's, to-go boxes or empty cans on the floor, or jars on the floor for water containers, throw them out. It takes you one extra moment. There's a trash can at every curb in America. Just do something, anything, to leave it a little better than when you came.
Put
because
the
the
shopping carts
person's
back.
Pardon?
Put the shopping carts back.
Right. Push the shopping carts back for sure into the little containered areas that they have. They're rounded off or back all the way up. And if you see somebody having a shopping cart that's shutting their trunk, say, could I take that in for you? So just be of an offer.
Or you can be like the grouchy man I experienced recently. He's like, you're not going to leave that cart there, are you? You're going to put it back, right?
Thanks for reminding me.
Thanks for giving me a guilt trip here. Little did he know I took a cart in. So like sometimes, because I park far away, I'm like, okay.
So that's another thing.
Leave it.
And if you are with your children and there's 2 or 3 of you or girlfriends, ask everybody to pull a cart in while you're walking in. Yeah, I always do it right up front. I always bring a cart in on the way in. All right, so.
What's that?
Sometimes people have to talk.
Yeah.
So number 10.
Well, make the comment gentle, I guess, is the point.
But see, that's
to be
really
nasty.
nice. That's really nice because we get to see that and say, oh, well, when I talk, I'm going to make sure I'm nice. And get the same message across.
Right.
So the acts of kindness we talked about.
I didn't
that
mind
before.
being reminded. It's just his way was kind of abrupt.
Pleasing
All right.
personality.
Yeah, pleasing personality. And that's
There
what
you
we're
go.
just talking about, right? So
Be
can we
pleasing.
say things and get things done in a pleasing way, in a nice way? So
He
he
should
could
have
have.
started limping like I used to. And then he'd feel really guilty that he said that.
Best that we're just the light, that we just have a pleasing personality, and that we can do it nicer than the person who did it to us, and that we can smile and laugh about it and take 2 carts in the next time, right? Exactly. Or offer him, sir, can I take your cart too?
Yeah.
So Jesus talks about turning the other cheek.
Thank you for the friendly reminder.
What's
Yeah.
Thank you for the
friendly
friendly
reminder. Yep. God bless you. Thank you. So,
And then struggle with it.
You're so
Poor
right.
woman.
Exactly.
accurate thought is 11. Accurate thought. This is what you're talking about too. In our dreams, a lot of time we have less than accurate thought.
Oh yeah.
So please, before you get out of bed, redream it, we call it, or give it the proper ending. So you say, before I put my foot on the ground, this little crazy thing I thought through or dreamt up, literally dreamt up, now I'm going to give it a good ending. And
That's
just
a
take
good
1
one.
minute and say, everybody turns out happy and healthy and whole. Everybody is doing great. And just redeclare and think through it. Everybody's smiling, and I'm in a good shape, and they're all in a good shape, and we're pleasantly happy with the outcome here. So redream it and declare a happy ending.
What about redreaming the happy process? You know, it's like for me, the ending isn't soon enough, and so the anxiety continues.
Okay, so the happy process, exactly. So sometimes you have to say, just like if you've seen some of those movies where they burst out and they're like, that's all been a dream, you know, all that craziness. Mm-hmm. And so you have to then wake yourself up and say, I have the right to wake myself up. This is just a dream and it's mush.
Okay. Yeah.
And when you say it's mush, then say, I create greatness.
Okay.
God and I have good plans of happy dreams, butterflies and rainbows, and nice flowers, and whatever makes you happy in your dreams. And then redeclare it and say, this is what I'm calling forth. When I sleep, I have happy dreams if I dream. There's times I go to sleep, but I do declare this. Tonight, I'm free.
Okay.
Yeah, just sleep.
No
It's
dreaming.
time for me, just sleep. And I'm free. My mind is free, clear, and asleep. And I will wake up and there'll be zero that went on. So I do have to say that off because you're right. That exhausts your muscles a lot of times when we're in a dream state. They're kicking and moving and all that. There's people, they're sweating like they went running a marathon in their dreams, burning calories. So our dream state is amazing. It's really important for us to declare before we go to bed a good night's rest and happy dreams if we dream, or just free and quiet and peace. Whatever you wish, declare it first before you go to sleep every single night. So that's accurate thought when you're able to even command your dream state. Okay, number 12, concentration. Why is that so important? Because this world is full of distraction. Wow, only you can concentrate for you. Turn off the TVs and turn off the news and turn it all off, or get yourself focused. I know that you're also organizing your house. You got to shut it all down for a while and say, like you did on Tuesday, I'm going to finish this project. I'm going to go home and work on it right now. I'm going to do it. Okay, so declare it and have absolute concentration to pull something through, and then celebrate the outcome when you get there. So it's one of the, for success, we have to have concentration. Having the television on, some people go in their home, they have the television on 24 hours a day. They sleep with the television on. So for us here, I sure say television off. Television has to be off. When you're sleeping for sure, and when you're concentrating on something great, shut everything off. You can turn that all back on when you're doing pleasure things, but shut it all off. Have some peace time. Okay, and then number 13, cooperation. Have a mastermind partner. Have a mastermind partner. Chris, you want to share just a few minutes of how that's helped you with Andrea? So our younger sister, and this is my older sister, they do get together on the phone.
Right, on the phone. Mm-hmm. And then we manifest once a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I feel like I have support, I guess. Mm-hmm. She's backing me up, and over the years, we've been doing this now 3 or 4 years, then we know each other, and we can text each other when we need seconds. Will you second this for me? So it's good to have.
Cooperation is also when you find people that can do things better than yourself. So have partners that can do something you are still looking for. So you can, you don't have to learn everything. You just have to find the right person and do. It's like a business partnership. It's so important that you have someone who can do other things than yourself.
Even having in your house cooperation of a plumber, an electrician, having cooperation of a cleaning crew or a cleaning lady, having cooperation of caregivers if that's necessary in your environment, having cooperation of accountants and financial advisors and bankers.
So know your team, have your team around you, have your team set up.
In every target of your life should be a team. Even if the team is one other person, like she's saying, just in her mastermind team is one other person. I've had good fortune of masterminding with the same lady for 25 years.
Wow.
And it's truly amazing to have watched each other grow, and it's just so beautiful.
I read that Jack Canfield has 6 coaches. Well, yeah, a health coach, financial coach. 6
Yeah, which we all
coaches.
probably, if you'd ask, we go to the gym and you have some trainer or somebody yelling the class out to you or guiding the class to you.
Yeah.
So we have helpers. Yeah, everywhere we go, there's helpers in our life. So be mindful when you're making your focus targets that you put those names in there of your team. Even if your team is just the YMCA leaders. If I go to the Y, there's somebody in the class leading the class every single time. I have a leader. Yeah, so be aware of that we have cooperation with leaders, with people who are cheering you on. All right, so 14 is interesting, failure. Why is that part of success? Well, he's saying, listen, there is no such word as failure if you've learned something from it and you incorporate all what you're going to do different next time, or you're going to do the same. If I moved my left leg over a little bit, I could have gotten over that hurdle better. So it can just be the awareness of a repositioning. So failure is one of the components, because a lot of us like to do it ourselves. Well, guess what? We're going to trip up a few times sometimes. We just do.
Okay.
And it's okay. The idea is, can you change the course then quickly? So it's not really, it means that maybe we knocked the hurdle over. The idea is stand it back up. How quickly can you stand it back up and get back over there and say, now I know what I have to do. I have to tie my shoe. I tripped. Now I'm going to tie this shoe and I'm going to jump over that thing. The better we get at understanding and sitting back and looking over a situation and writing it down first, we'll have success more often. So for Anthony Robbins, it was interesting. We were climbing this telephone pole and standing on the top of it. And I said, gosh, you have one shot at it, right? So most people just got up there and did their thing. I took a moment and I said, okay, I'm going to think about this. Do I have the right pants on to climb? Like my knees, can they climb up high? Because I got to climb on the telephone pole. So I put shorts on. And I had to have shorts that were stretchy. And then I said, what are the right shoes? Tennis shoes. Although I said, you know what, I'm going to take my socks off, because when I'm up on that small platform, I got to make sure my feet are grabbing the shoes. So I thought, before I got up there, I'm going to take my socks off. I'm going to put my shorts on, right? Then I thought, I'm going to write down success before I even put my first foot up that pole, that I succeeded and got on top, and that I caught the pole on the top and jumped to the trapeze, and that I had 100% success. So while I'm down there, before I climb up, I'm writing real quickly in my journal. I think I was the only one out of 600 people who wrote the success first. So I prepared myself for a 10-star experience, and I got it. And I watched some people, and I watched like 6 people climbing that pole, and I saw people that put their butt on the pole. Well, how can you get your feet on the pole if your butt's on the pole? That's a 0. Because you're way up there and it's wobbling, and how are you going to get yourself? So guess what? There's only one part of you, if you want your feet on the pole, that can go on the pole. Your feet. So I saw that, so I was able to prepare and say, the only part of me that's going on that pole are my feet. So just take one moment, walk around and look at it from a few different angles, start a success list. And then, boy, it's amazing when I watch these other people, right? The one who failed. So I said, okay, I'm going to just watch that I put my feet on the pole. Then I saw, what did some other people who had success do, right? I saw that you really had to engage your core and stand tight up there, because, it's already moving and you're way up there. And if you do too much of this, So I said, okay, I got to engage my core. The minute I get my feet up there, my core has to engage, and then I've got to call on with confidence. So there's the confidence had to be in there. So I had to have the key, and then I had to call on all my ability of climbing throughout my whole life. I was a gymnast. I could balance. I know that. So I called back on that part of me that had a muscle memory of all knowing. All right, so watching other people fail actually helped me succeed. So it was okay that I took that 5 minutes, wrote it down, got my success, and it worked out great. Number 15 is tolerance. And sometimes when we have the miracle group, it's great because people say, this is the one thing I want to master is tolerance. And remember, the only person that you're here to improve is you. So in a way, it's an automatic tolerance for everything else because everybody else is perfectly doing whatever it is that they are 100% spot on supposed to be doing in that moment. And if we just focus on ourselves in our life, we really need zero tolerance in anybody else because we're just so busy on ourselves. And that's where it should be. So the golden rule. And this we had an entire lesson on. And thank goodness we're here years later after 1950. And we now know that the golden rule is karma. And grace has superseded the golden rule. And that is forgiveness. And when you stay in forgiveness, you are in grace. And there's just declaring the outcome. And smiling, keeping your physiology there, doing all this successful stuff with enthusiasm, right? And that golden rule gets superseded. So we're standing on Napoleon Hill's shoulders here, and we actually came to one point that he hadn't yet discovered before he passed away, and that is grace totally wiped out the golden rule.